Bonjour à tous, ici Siegfried et nous voici pour la suite de notre let's play sur Vampyr ou Vampyr ou comme vous voulez. Bref. Poursuivons. Alors, on était arrivé à l'hôpital. On avait rencontré une personne, je ne me souviens plus le nom. Et du coup, il nous a engagé comme docteur à son hôpital, tout en nous aidant à cacher notre identité de vampire et trouver un moyen de trouver la personne qui est responsable de tout ceci. Voilà, nous sommes lui, notre héros. J'avoue.
It's locked.
It's locked. Très bien. Donc on va pénétrer dans l'hôpital Pembroke. Voilà. J'avoue. Hop. Ah, donc là, c'est la carte. Ah ouais, c'est là.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to go hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Là, c'est clair, j'ai déjà mon bureau à mon propre nom. Ça, c'est la classe. Okay.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Est-ce que vous pouvez vous laver les mains, s'il vous plaît? Ils sont pleins de sang.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Détails. Un détail. 2000.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Ouais, il me connaît mieux que je le connais.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Ouais, je pense que c'est bon. Mon bureau chez Oulet.
Thank you, nurse.
Premier étage. Non. Veuillez rentrer chez vous. Ah putain, chaud. On peut parler à des gens. Ça va vraiment d'être la crise, hein, cette épidémie. Faut parler. Bonjour, excusez-moi.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Faisons affaire. Votre vie à Londres. Quelle est la situation des environs?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
C'est un détail, oui. Attends, on va voir. Le bilan de santé.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Ok. peux charmer, mais on va pas charmer tout de suite. Indestructible. Ah, il faut niveau 2, j'ai pas le niveau 2. Bon, très bien.
Goodbye, Milton.
Attends.
Good evening, Milton.
Attends, je crois que j'ai pas tout... Est-ce que j'ai tout exploré? À quel est votre travail ici?
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
D'accord.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Investigation locale. L'enquête pour ce citoyen est disponible. Ok. Enquête est triée par quartier. Vous pouvez démarrer nos missions. Ok. Avouez qu'il est aidé par passer. D'accord, ok. Ok.
Goodbye, Milton.
Ok, donc il y a un patient. Enfin, un vampire, forcément. Ah, voilà, ah, bah, on va le faire, allez hop. Je cours vite. Allez, on y va. Petit trop. Ah. Grippe. Génère souvent pneumonie pour éviter rester chez vous. Oui, restez isolé chez vous. Ne sortez pas.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Ouais, bah ça c'est un vampire 100% de toute façon. Ah! La caméra bouge un peu vite quand même, elle est très sensible. Ah. Bonjour monsieur. Tu veux te battre, hein? Tu veux te battre? Tiens. Échec mon gars. Tiens. Un vampire qui bouffe un vampire. C'est possible ça, un vampire qui bouffe un vampire? Je suppose. Ah ok. Check mon gars. Bah non mon gars. Bah non, esquive. Ah bâtard. Non, lâche-moi. Ah mais donc un vampire. Ouh, il m'a mis une chie. Il est en train de mourir. Oh non. Ah, ça rigole zéro, hein. Très bien. Bon. Bonjour, je reviens d'entre les morts. Oh mon gars. Ah mais je suis sur vous. Allez. Échec. j'ai endurance, tout va mieux. Oui, je fais les poubelles. Car faire les poubelles. Souriant avec les osseries, Milton et Pipa pour toujours. Ah ah, je sais des choses sur toi, mon ami. Qui est cette Pipa? Ouais, moi je casse les bancs, je suis un ouf. Dégradation du public, monsieur. D'accord, je me bouffe, ok. Ok, alors, bon. Bon, juste, Faut que je me reprenne les touches, désolé parce que je m'en souviens plus trop. En combat, interaction, attaque au corps à corps, tir, non. Ultime, ouais, non, j'ai peut-être manqué les ultimes. Changer d'arme de corps à corps, changer d'arme de distance. Utilisation sens, ok, ah oui, ça, je voulais. C'est ça que je voulais. Très bien, bon, allez, go. Attends. Mais où ce propriétaire? Ah. Il est où notre ami? Je le retrouve, mais il est où? Où es-tu, mon ami? Depuis rentrer chez vous après, ouais.
I will not let you down, my boy. So many deaths, and still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Eh ben, je dois le trouver dans tout le...
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Okay. Éviter la maladie, cracher toutes les derniers, ça. Bon, on le retrouvera bah, quand...
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Vraiment, j'ai un bureau, waouh, il est VIP, hein, un lit, un coffre, deux coffres même. Avec des trucs, ok, du stuff, un peu de fric. Fiole de verre, excellent.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Où est-ce qu'il y a de l'eau? Bon, alors je vais vous laisser lire. Vous mettrez sur pause. Hop. Voilà, 1, 2. Allez, je descends jusqu'en bas. 1, 2. Voilà, je vous laisserai lire. Je lirai plus tard. Mais j'aime bien plus. Ah, c'était là. Je peux pas lui donner de l'eau à la plante. Ouais, elle mourra dans notre souffrance. Mais qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Analyser. Ah cool, je peux faire du sérum. Recyclable. Je recycle. Ça fait des objets. Ça, ouais, ça fuit. En gros, c'est un pépon qui fait du mal. Je peux pas le craft. Ça non plus, il manque des choses. Ah, j'ai une arme demain. Par contre, ça pompe de l'endurance. Ça fait plus mal, je gagne en vie, mais ça fait... Oh, ça peut se faire à la rigueur. Moi, j'ai pas les trucs qu'il faut.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Ah bah tu m'étonnes, mais t'es un vampire. Allez. Faisons semblant de dormir vu que t'es un vampire, normalement les vampires dorment pas. Moi je crois pas. Deuxième, ma culture vampirique est un peu limitée. Alors, nanana. J'ai combien d'XP là 190. C'est bon ça. Ok, il y a beaucoup de choses. On va causer de gaz figé. On va prendre ça. Hop. Et on va prendre les deux. On fera plus de mal et on se soignera plus. Je pense que c'est pas mal en combat. La nuit suivante.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Eh bah tu te... hein. Alors, j'ai dit sur des Wemichum et les restent parcellaires. C'est déjà bien plus instable que ça humain et présente une mutation, mais ce n'est pas la même chose que m'est arrivé. Je dois continuer mes recherches. Qu'est-ce passé? Je sais pas tout mon temps, mais Londres non. N'oubliez tous les gens parmi les tiens, du coup, je commence à penser que c'est lié d'une manière ou d'une autre. De continuer. Ok. Ah, bonjour. Y'a un problème?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry, there's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Ok. Et bah go. Avec le petit pèse qui est là, ok. Là c'est là que j'ai mon truc. Dr Reed. Et ouais mon gars, médecin professionnel. Ah oui, ça c'est qu'il était médecin, enfin, il est toujours d'ailleurs. Par là, je présume. Non, échec. Ah, par là.
C'est un bon gosse. Regardez, imaginez le genre de poisson que vous pourriez pêcher avec ça. Quand vous allez tous regarder, il va faire la
Oui, mort. Était du quartier satisfaisant. Ah. Oh ce bordel. Ouais, du sang. On fouillera un peu vite fait, d'abord je trouve les objectifs, après on fouille. Tiens, je te bouffe mon gars.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
On fouille. Attends, juste... Oui, je sais, je suis chiant, j'aurais dû faire ça avant, mais... Ouais, en fait, je suis marché, mais il n'y a pas... Bref. Oh putain! Ah, je l'avais pas vu! Ah putain, il m'enchaîne. Ah, c'est de la merde! J'ai plus d'endurance. Ah, je suis de la merde! Ah, j'ai fait de la merde. Il m'a surpris ce con! Oh non! Il m'a surpris, mais... Ah, et du coup, je suis paniqué, j'ai fait de la merde. J'ai horreur de ça. Surpris comme ça, j'ai horreur.
It's locked, all right.
Je comprenais pas pourquoi il a dégainé son arme en fait. Non, je sais. Putain non. Putain, il y a des jeux qui débarquent comme ça à l'improviste là. j'ai récupéré ma vie, ça va. Ah voilà, il y en a là, il y en a un là, il y en a un là.
These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Oh. Ouh, il m'a mis une pêche, le gars. On s'enfuit comme un lâche. Eh ben non, bitchid. Oh non, j'y prends pas avant, monsieur l'arbitre. Ah non. Faut que j'arrive à me défendre. Voilà, je me soigne moi-même. T'es où? Ah, t'es là. Non, putain, il faut des combos. Ah, fais chier. Bouffe moi-même. Ah, des fois je perds des fights un peu bêtement. Enfin, j'ai pas perdu, mais... Ah, bref. Tout ce qu'il y a, on dépouille l'endroit. Est-ce qu'il y a encore des... Bonjour madame, monsieur. Qui es-tu? Samuel Connor, caucasien, masculin, 39 ans, connu, pêcheur, naturel, nommé fourreur, tu es connu... Okay.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Tinky?
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
Je vois.
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Ouais, monsieur. Ah, monsieur Tippett. On sait que vous avez fait n'importe quoi.
It's locked, all right.
Plusieurs infiltrations usées. Équipez-la et puis c'est vrai pour sortir directement du sang. Ok, ah c'est cool ça. On dépouille toujours à l'endroit. Move, bitches! Ah, perfect. Je vais toucher. K.O. Salut toi! Ah putain! Putain, il avait des potes! C'est la triche, monsieur!
Scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Ouais, donc c'est ce que dit le jeu en fait. Si je bois du sang, j'aurai plus d'XP pour être plus puissant. Mais du coup, ça fout le bordel dans Londres. Et dans le cas contraire, je suis. Ça va, mais. Ouais, ce sera des choix à faire. Je pense qu'il faudra jongler un peu entre les deux. Mais il y a juste ça à prendre. Bon, je sais qu'il faut que je fasse demi-tour, mais bon. Allez, je vais un peu. Ah. Ouais, attends, je suis perdu. Ah voilà. Non, ah. Bon, retournons à l'hôpital, mais putain j'ai pris tarif quand même. Ah, il y a un coffre. Chevrottine. On va puis les poubelles. Ça, j'avais trouvé notre ami là qui a perdu son portefeuille que je lui rende. Mais attends, on va retourner à l'entrée. Ah, t'es là. Je parlais de toi.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you
Ouais.
and Nurse Hawkins?
Dis-moi tout.
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
Fini par le désespoir.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Ouais, c'est clair normalement. Je vois pas en quoi ça dérange.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
Bon, après c'est tout. Regarde.
Goodbye, Milton.
Ah, ça c'est fait. Enquête terminée, nickel. Quoi ça déjà? Ah oui, ça j'ai déjà vu. Il ne faut pas tousser sur la gueule des gens. Faisons tout ça, hop. Artisanat. Formule pneumatique. Ça va c'est complexe, ça doit être analysé là. Mais voilà. Échantillon de sang liquide. Oh. Ah, ça me dit, ça sent pas de santé. Oh, c'est cool ça. Là, je peux me faire des sérums, ça c'est cool. On va en faire. On va faire 2. Voilà. Ça c'est cool. Ça, je me fais des sérums. Il faut que je fasse quoi d'autre aussi? Bonne valeur à la revente. Faible valeur à la vente. Voilà. Faut que je fasse quoi? Un traitement. C'est quoi le merde? C'est quoi la mission? Un traitement pour la fatigue, voilà. On s'en souvenait plus. Traitement pour la fatigue. Ah. Allez, on y va. Ouais, j'ai des citoyens. Ah, salut toi. Alors, on se tape l'ambulancier?
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Ah ouais. On sait que vous tapez... Bon. Ah, apparemment c'est pas ça. Mais on sait que vous faites des choses pas très catholiques avec un ambulancier.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ressaisis-toi.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Ouais, parce qu'il a... Tu t'occupes peut-être pas bien assez de lui, hein, si tu vois ce que je veux dire, hein.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
J'ai un d'autre. Bon bah salut.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Bon, on va soigner le patient. Déjà vous. Before me. Déjà vous. Bon, pourquoi je chante, je sais pas. Allez hop. T'es là. Alors, tenez.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Très bien, très bien. Les maladies font baisser la qualité du sang des sauterelles. Soignez-les avec les bons médicaments. Parlez aux patients D'accord, en fait, je peux les soigner. Et après, je les bouffe derrière parce qu'ils... Ça, c'est un peu dégueulasse.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Pour voir l'état de santé des citoyens.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
F. Fatigue. Eh ben, on va donner des médicaments.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Ah, est-ce que tu vas mieux? Récupération. Qu'est-ce qu'il veut? Qu'est-ce que le personnel? Parlez-moi de vous.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Alors bravo. Je te sauve la vie, c'est quand tu dis merci?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Je dirais que c'est une angine.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
This hospital.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Bonne santé, okay.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Intéressant.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
On va pas te faire hacker non plus, hein.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Ou simplement parce qu'ils sont débordés.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
C'est sûr.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Et là, c'est chaud. Ouais, il y a des choses à se dire. Ok.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Bon, infirmière. Ça va pas du tout ce que vous faites, des pratiques illégales.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Ah non, je crois que j'ai tout. Question générale.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
À propos des patients.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
Question personnelle. Et comment vous
For
travaillez
how
ici?
long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
D'accord, ok.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
Tu m'étonnes, avec tout le bordel.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
D'accord. Hop, retour.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
Bon. Cette caméra, elle va à une vitesse, faudrait que je change ça. N'oubliez pas que le sang des citoyens vous apprenez en expérience. Cherchez des citoyens à un niveau de charme inférieur ou égal au vôtre et faites le bon choix. T'es où la fermière là? J'ai deux autres trucs à te dire concernant des pratiques un peu illégales.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Ok. En bonne santé. Un vampire, hein?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's mind, you see?
Ah, tu m'étonnes. T'as bien craqué, hein?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Ouais. Faut surtout que t'as de la drogue, mon ami. Je pense on va baisser ta dose de morphine, de narcoleptique, parce que là, ça devient grave.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Ouais.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
D'accord.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Oui, c'est ça. T'as ta drogue, ma pauvre. Allez, j'ai vu un truc. Non, c'est bon.
I'll leave you, Mistress of
Oh,
the
allez.
Dawn, to your nocturnal activities.
Ah, la drogue, ça fait mal.
Good evening, Miss
Mais
Howcroft.
non!
I'll leave you, Miss...
C'est ça, putain. Ah, laisse-moi. Laisse-moi. Dégage, vous. Ok.
The pain. It's here again.
Moi, je pense que je peux parler avec tout le monde en fait. Mais je vais pas le faire parce que ça va être trop long. Ah, t'es là, toi? Ah, faut qu'on parle de tes pratiques illégales. Ah, c'est pas toi?
Goodbye now.
Alors, c'est quelle nurse qui a eu un... Bon, écoutez, on va parler au docteur Sansi. Sansi, je crois que c'est comme ça. Puis on va s'arrêter là parce que ça fait quasiment 1 heure, je crois.
It's locked.
Bonne porte.
Please, Jonathan,
coming. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
C'est vrai qu'un médecin professionnalisé dans la perfusion des sanguins et qui est un vampire, c'est vrai que c'est l'incarnation d'un paradoxe.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Très bien, bon, on ira voir cette dame une prochaine fois. Bon, on a un peu avancé dans l'histoire, maintenant c'est qu'on peut parler à des gens, on peut les soigner, on peut fouiner, vous êtes mis en garde. Ah oui, je dois voir aussi le docteur qui a fait une opération un peu ratée sur un cadavre. Enfin, c'est une personne qui est morte du coup. Hop, voilà. Bon, on va s'arrêter là. En tout cas, j'espère que cet épisode vous plaît et que le jeu Vampyr vous plaît aussi. Quant à moi, je vous laisse, je vous fais des bisous et je vous dis à la prochaine pour la suite de nos aventures avec le docteur Jonathan Reed. À la prochaine, salut!